done it for you. Hello, it's Andrea Foulkes, and many of you who know me know what I do, but for those who are new and just caught me on the off chance, for 25 years, I have been doing full-time past life regression, inner child healing, ancestral timeline healing, spirit releasement, between lives, and I sing soul light language codes, and I have publicly spoken light language since probably 2011. I've shared it on YouTube and with clients in person. And at present, if you wonder where I am, looking a little beachy, I am in Cornwall in the UK at my little beach chalet, which you can rent out on Airbnb, called Sea Angel Vintage Beach Chalet. And I just thought, after I've just been twinkling up my chalet, I'll just give you a little look inside it. It's looking super cute. How cute is that? I know the lighting's not great at the moment, but this is a vintage 1920s, 30s, sort of past life, this life, little beach chalet. So I thought you might enjoy to see my little beach chalet. And yeah, you have to, there's no linen, that's why it's sort of like this at the moment, but I thought you might enjoy to see my beach chalet. And yeah, I'll just show you the other little bits of it. It's not so bright, so sometimes it's much brighter than this, but I thought you'd enjoy to see it. So back to the work that I do, which is, as I said before, about emotional healing, inner journey work. And of late, if you follow me, you will have seen that I maybe haven't collaborated so much with some other people recently. I honour all people's truths, but I must honour my truth. And from being a emotional intuitive therapist full-time every day in, day out for 25 years, I have to say that I don't professionally agree with some other high-profile speakers. I am speaking at Kerry Cassidy's conference next weekend in the UK, which is, I'm speaking, I think, on the 5th of July in Watford, and I'll be sharing more about what I do there. But for you, I mean, the thing is, though, the key to evolving consciousness, the key to healing, the key lies in the subconscious mind, and everything is about healing our inner world. And even though I've just given you a quick tour around my beach chalet, I must tell you about my beach chalet if you're new to me. I bought this beach chalet in 2007 from a meditation. I had never even been to Cornwall. I was meditating. I will show you my little beach chalet from the outside. Wait 1 second. Quick. We'll have a little look outside. So I saw this beach chalet. Okay, can you see how cutesy it is? I saw this beach chalet. I'll go back inside because it's very windy and I want you to be able to hear me. I saw my beach chalet in a meditation. I was meditating. I lived in London, and this beautiful beach chalet from the outside, not the inside, the outside, came into my vision. And the message that I got from my higher self, my authentic self, spirit, whatever you want to call it, was, remember, it's 2007, so Google was fairly newish. It said, if you Google it, you'll find it. It took me 3 days, and it was for sale in Cornwall. Could have been anywhere in the world or in the UK. And I bought it, you know, and I have had it since then, and I have rented it out, and I've gone through many experiences owning it. It's spoken to me. It says it does not want to be sold. It loves the people that come and stay here. It loves the people that holiday here. It's very nurturing. If you look where it is, this beach, which I could walk to, but it's quite windy, is, I've traveled the world. I've spent time in Hawaii, and this beach here is 3 miles of sandy beach, is the most spectacular beach in Cornwall or anywhere in the world. I think you look out to the Bay of St Ives, so you're looking out to St Ives. So when you're in St Ives in Cornwall, you look across this way, and this is where you are. Riviera Towns, Hale Beach. It's amazing. So that's what I want to say, the power of meditation, the power of going inside yourself. I manifested a beach chalet from meditating, from going inside myself, from trusting my intuition. And in all my skills and gifts that I share with people, and many of you might remember that I did past life regression on mainstream TV in the UK on ITV. If you want to see those regressions from back in 2004 to 2007, and then I did a show called Have I Been Here Before? You can see those at the beginning of my channel. I would love to do some new regressions and show my technique, how I actually really work, that are not edited within an inch of their life, to show how you can't just do past life regression on its own. It will be limited. The healing will be limited. You need to weave between past lives. You need to be able to do inner child healing with people. You need to do ancestral healing. You need to be able to release the emotional cohesion of entities attached to people, and go between lives as well, and take people to meet their authentic soul self, more than their guides really. You know, you meet your soul star family, but that soul star family can change. Those interdimensional beings can change depending on how much you heal your inner child, womb trauma, past lives. So if you start speaking to beings from other dimensions or other planets, okay, it's gonna change. It's gonna change as you heal your inner self. Those beings will be retired, or they might not be a vibrational match to you. The higher your vibration, the higher the vibrational beings you're going to connect with. You also have to develop your own intuition and your own discernment to discern, to trust yourself, not beings telling you to do this, this, and that. You have to develop your own intuition. Now, I need to just have a little read, see what anybody's saying. Hi, Andrea. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy my beach chalet. Yes. Thanks, Donna. I know we sort of speak occasionally on here, and yeah, I can't read all of them. I'm sorry. It's the light's quite bright. So I just wanted to touch base with everybody. As many of you know, I hate to say this if you're, gosh, she's going on about that again. I am clearing my parents' house in Cheshire. I have opened a little vintage antique booth as well. I'm not really working there, although occasionally you might find me there stocking my little booth in Dagfield's vintage antique centre, because I have a lot of things to clear of my parents' treasures, because they were quite elderly when they passed away. So it's like this life, past life treasures in Dagfields, and I am unit 28 if anybody's in the UK and wishes to go there and see my treasures. But back to my real gift, my real treasure, and your real treasures. Your real treasures are within you. They are the skills and gifts and the determination, the confidence to speak your truth, the graciousness to... The other thing is, there are many colleagues, I would call them colleagues, who speak on other matters around the esoteric world that I speak on. I don't agree with them, and I professionally disagree with them, but I am gracious that I think their truth has to exist. My truth has to exist. All truths have to exist. But I can professionally disagree with them, and I professionally disagree with quite a strong belief that I don't believe implants are a good thing. I don't believe that implants to other planets and beings are necessarily a good thing for an Earth human right here, right now. I have never come across any that have worked in a benevolent way for humanity. Most beings, even the snarly ones, when you address them with graciousness and true heart consciousness, and you say, how long have you been attached to my client? What have you been affecting in my client's life? They will graciously release their control, and you go back to the emotional cohesion of how they've attached to your client, and you heal the emotional trauma linked to your client, be that past life, inner child, ancestral, between lives, otherworldly things. You release the emotional cohesion of everything, because emotional cohesion is the vibrational cohesion to everything. It's your access code, it's your pin code to realities and dimensions of existence. And the more you work on yourself, the less fearful you are. So I look at some people whose personalities, underneath it all, they're quite fearful people, or they're quite controlling people, or they're not gracious to other people's sharings, you know, and yet they've not been on this path, you know, consciously been working with humanity in this lifetime. For me, 25 years, every day, day in, day out. And then I see people who've, you know, kind of fairly new and absolutely convinced that their truth is the absolute, and there's no room for anybody else who disagrees with them. It's, you know, it's like, off with their heads. No, they can't have their truth. Only my truth exists. And their truth is from their own inner journey, their own experience. It's not regressing clients. You know, my experience that I share is from regressing many of you between lives, and I share what my findings are from my experiences with many of you. It's not just my personal thoughts and beliefs, it's doing a collaboration of what you've said and sharing it. Like, this is, and sometimes my beliefs have changed, you know, and I will be sharing some of that in talks and other videos. My beliefs have been changed by my experiences in working with you, helping you heal, grow, and evolve on a spiritual level. So we find ourselves, or I find myself in those that I have collaborated with in the past, not all of them, but some of them are struggling that I don't agree with other people they collaborate with. And so therefore we've had a sort of, we'll be doing broadcasts together while I am in disagreement with other people that they think are right. So that's okay to me. That is okay. You know, that's their choice. I don't have an issue disagreeing with other people, but they might have an issue with me disagreeing with other people, which is a shame, really, because I think my voice must be heard, their voice must be heard, and you can decide in yourself what is a truth for you. You know, we can all share what our experience or our research leads us to find. Yeah, I just decided to do a live, so I'm just squinting to read. Sorry, I can't read some of your comments, but thank you for listening. I am waiting for people to arrive in my beach chalet, the holiday. I don't need to be here to greet the holiday makers, is what I'm saying, but I had to come back and just do a little, bring a couple of things that I needed for them to have a better experience while they're here for a few days. So I'm going to drive sadly back to Glastonbury, to Avalon, where I live. Glastonbury is a place, not just a music festival. I'm not a big fan of the music festival myself, but I shall be there this weekend, not at the Music Hall Festival, but in Glastonbury itself. And I'm available for online sessions. I've put a link to my online sessions. I also see people in person. I read the emotional Akashic records online. I don't need to look at you. Sadly, Skype days have come to an end, and now I have to work with you on Messenger or WhatsApp. I'm reluctant to use Zoom. I'm not a big fan of Zoom. I don't like the frequency Zoom's broadcast on, but if you like to use Zoom, we could do that. We don't use the video. I don't need to look at you to read your emotional Akashic records and help you heal and release emotional trauma. I can just, my skills and gifts are to emotionally tune in and weave between past lives, inner child, ancestral, between lives, and what you need, and sing the sound frequency light language codes. They seem to work on a whole other level. Again, I had to do a lot of work to be able to sing the higher frequencies of light language, which you can see me speaking in some other videos as well. So with that, you know, we are here to learn, grow, and evolve on a spiritual level, and to be in abundance of our soul, in the abundance of being in our soul. And, you know, we're here to expand our consciousness and heal ourselves as much as we can, with the grace and wisdom that is within each soul individually, and trust your own voice within you, the authentic voice, not the facade, not the mask that we live from when we haven't healed our emotional trauma, the authentic you, when you have healed your emotional trauma, when you have let go of the need to control people and everything and shut down other voices, you know, because you can't stand that they don't have the same, they're not singing from the same hymn sheet as you. I say all voices need to be heard. And you know, I don't say I won't collaborate with someone because they don't agree with me, but they might not feel the same, and they may not wish to collaborate with me because I don't agree with them. That's a different story. That's their choice. That's their free will. And I honor all free wills. And I think it's very healthy that we agree to disagree, especially on the spiritual journey. You know, we must agree to disagree because we must not have our voices silenced. We must speak our truth as we find it to be. And if we find that we have been wrong about something, and we go, you know, at that time with the best of intention, that's what I believed. But now, from further awareness of self, further inner development, I have changed my opinions and views and thoughts. That is a sign of expanding consciousness and evolving. So with that, I send you the most love, grace, and wisdom wherever you are in the world. Remember, if you do want to work with me online, those sessions are half an hour, an hour. If you want to do a whole day with me, if you want to be in the UK or you fly into the UK, it's not that hard to get to the UK from most of Europe. And then also I do 2-hour sessions for regression in person. So I send you the greatest love. I had a wonderful workshop the other weekend in the Chalice Well in Glastonbury. At present, I have no date for any other workshops to do, but I'm sure I will at some point. But I send you much love and thank you for listening to me. And if you like my channel, you like my lives, you like my back catalogue of videos, subscribe, whether it's above, below, in between, I don't know where it is. And if you sign up to my newsletter on my website, you can download a free meditation. So thank you for all the little hearts I can see flying up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being true to yourself and being who you truly are. I think that's the key. Be who you truly are, and do not let anybody's voice silence your truth, your healing, your soul evolution. So much love, many blessings, and if you enjoy my work, share. Much love, many blessings.